he's back there doing what he loves, and you're here. You were kind of like born for the radio.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the radio. Are you saying I don't have a face for TV?
Oh, I didn't say that.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.
Welcome to episode 28 of Charred and New Haven Pizza Show. We are here at Pasta Avest in Guilford. It's Kevin Begley. We got Frank Zabsky. Some delicious smells coming from these pizzas. And big thanks to Sarah and Neco here, the owners of Pasta Avest, for having us here today for this episode. Hey, Sarah.
Yes. Hi. Thanks for having me. I kind of bullied my way onto the show. I was a big fan. I love what you guys are doing. He had been a customer, so I was sort of like, how about us? Can we be on the show? I'm happy to be a part of it.
No, I love it. Thank you for watching and checking out the show.
Yeah, of course.
That's
I love
awesome.
what you guys are doing. Pizza is life, as far as I'm concerned. So.
And yeah, like you said, Frank's been here a bunch. This is my first time.
Mm-hmm. Welcome.
It's awesome. You can always tell, I say, when you walk into a pizzeria for the first time, you can tell right away if it's going to be good or not.
Yeah.
And just not even trying the pizza yet, you can just feel the vibe, the smells, the ovens in the back, the little tables right here. It just feels homey and like a pizzeria.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, this restaurant had been here for 13 or 14 years before we bought it, and they had their own thing going, hence the name pasta comes before pizza.
Yeah.
We certainly wouldn't have done it that way. But we bought it during the pandemic, so our whole goal was, we didn't have a ton of funding or anything. We just kind of bought it and just sort of slid in. We opened the next day.
Yeah.
So we've been
Literally the next day.
Literally the next day, yeah. We've just been kind of slowly like making adjustments. We just wanted to take really good care of the people in the community so that they didn't feel like, oh my God, my favorite spot is changing and closed, and now there's this chic, city pizzeria.
Yeah.
So we had a 5-year
You saying you're chic?
goal. I mean, I think our pizza is. We had a 5-year goal of kind of working towards, maybe a rebranding or renaming so that we can really be ourselves. But it's been really good to us so far because we had sort of a built-in audience, and it's only gone up from there as people are reintroducing themselves to our pizza and our brand of pizza.
And the name recognition is huge too, especially
Of
if
course.
people had known that in the town for so long,
Of course, yeah. And people came, they've been having their family events here. We do a ton of catering, so they, we're really well known for just bringing home a bunch of trays last minute for, baby showers, weddings, whatever is going on. Sports in this town is huge, just like all over the place. So we wanted to hold on to that and then really just slowly kind of introduce them to what we're doing, which we think is a little bit higher end, more authentic, pizza experience.
And coming off the highway here, it's literally, you can almost see it from the highway, just taking the right off 95.
Quarter mile off exit 59. It couldn't have been easier. I was saying to you before, we get a ton of travelers coming from Massachusetts to New York. They always make it their stop in their summer trip. We see them again and again.
Yeah.
A lot of business people just come in. I mean, if you're going to grab a bite to eat on the road, why not have something actually homemade and authentic?
Or if people are driving down from the north going to New Haven to do a New Haven pizza tour, it's a perfect stop as like a little precursor to your pizza day.
An appetizer for your pizza tour. Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
I found out about this because I probably discovered this place probably about 10 years ago when I guess the original owners owned it. A buddy of mine used to live in Guilford, or he had a tackle shop down the street. But I recently rediscovered it because my daughter had surgery on her foot, and there's, I can't think, Connecticut Orthopedic up there.
There's a bunch of Yale, New Haven, all sorts of doctors around here.
And I remembered it, not knowing it was a different owner, but I'm like, we got to go there. And then every time my daughter came back to get checked up and stuff like that, we would come here, and we just love it.
Mm-hmm. And I recognized him, of course, from Pizza Good Bones. And I was saying I didn't say anything. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I didn't say anything the first time because I didn't really want to bother him and force pizza down his throat. Because you got a sandwich that first day.
Focaccia, chicken parm.
Yeah, we make our focaccia fresh every day here.
Oh, wow, yum.
And then when the second time I was like, all right, I have to say something now. So, I introduced myself and I said that I would love to be on. So, and here we are. Yeah. I think any exposure is good exposure.
Yeah.
Right?
My wife gets embarrassed because, I'm certainly no celebrity or anything, but people know who I am, especially pizza stuff.
In the pizza world, you are.
I don't know, Frank. We've been doing this for a year now. Yeah.
She's like, we can't go in here without someone coming up to talk to you. You've been in the craziest places, and people come up, and it's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad we talked, and I do generally love this place. And like Kevin was saying, like when I first opened the door, this waft of just this awesome baked bread, dough, pizza, just boof. it hits you right in the face.
Yeah,
and
morning
everything's
time
fresh
is the
made
best
here.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything from scratch. I know most restaurants say that, but I don't know if that's actually true.
Right.
But everything is made from scratch.
Bread, focaccia, everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're really lucky. Just my husband's and I experience, we each have 25 years in restaurants in DC. Everything, all the way up the corporate ladder, more or less.
Wow.
So we're trained for, action, volume, service.
In the weeds.
Hospitality, exactly, like drowning in tickets. So when we bought this place, it was really a slowdown. For
Oh,
us.
yeah.
We spent probably a year and a half dialing it back and trying to
Downshift.
chill out. The pizzeria that my husband and I met in, we did 1,000 pizzas a day there.
Wow.
A day?
1,000 pizzas a day.
Was it a Greek place?
They were Neapolitan,
Okay.
so it was individual pies, which
Yep.
definitely helps with the volume. But 60 seconds in the oven and out onto the table, churn and burn.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and he worked there. He ran that place for about 17 years, and then went on to do a bunch of other pizza stuff and work for a pizza oven company and do consulting. He's been to all those Vegas shows. I know you like those a lot.
Frank was out there last year. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really nice to be in a small town like this. And
Yeah.
we always joke, like, if you're gonna claim to be great at pizza, this is the place that you show your chops,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you really want to see how you stack up. So
And we've talked about it before in some episodes about how it's funny that you don't see too many new pizza places
Mm-hmm.
opening up. And I think that's a big part of it is to just open a pizza place with no experience is very hard to do.
Insane.
And like Frank always says, like, you're not going to last if your pizza's not good.
Yeah. No.
And it's a lot of work. Like it's a ton of work that goes into it. And for somebody who had so much experience in the restaurant business, you knew what you were getting into. So that seems like it was a big part of it.
Yeah, a huge part. I think anybody who would just say, like, let's open a pizzeria because I
Yeah.
like pizza is absolutely a sadist. There's nobody's getting rich from this.
No.
Yeah.
And nobody is working awesome hours and taking a bunch of vacations. It is
Right.
absolutely thankless. But if you love it, like my husband loves pizza, he eats, sleeps, and breathes it, just like you guys, I guess, right?
Yeah, I know, and it comes through. It comes through in the pizza, in the experience when you go to a place, when you eat there, when you get the takeout. And you're right,
Yeah.
like people eat pizza at inconvenient times. So like Friday nights, weekends, getting catering for holidays. So you have to really love it.
Yep.
And it seems like you guys do. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think something that helps us a lot here too is that we have slices. There's not a lot of slice shops around here.
is true.
There should be more slice shops, I think, everywhere. But I also think that speaks to the quality of pizza because not all pizza can necessarily hold up being
Yes.
reheated like that. And so it's really nice. Like you said, we're right off of 95, right on the post road. So you don't need to sit down and commit to a whole pizza. You
Yeah.
come in, it's a snack as far as I'm concerned, a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Grab 2-3 slices.
Yeah, 2-3 slices get out. And we also have Sicilian by the slice, which I'm going to have them bring out for you as well. So
Ooh,
there's
nice.
not a lot of places that have that. So that helps us as well too. Yeah.
Let's get into these pizzas we got in
Yeah,
front
please,
of
I've got
us.
some plates right over there for you.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Oh, all right. I didn't know if you.
Come on now.
Do you want to describe them real quick? I mean, this one seems obvious. but-
these guys gave us our pick of what we wanted to present.
Yeah.
This is a marinara. It's my favorite pizza that my husband makes. I don't
Nice.
think there's a better way to really taste the actual dough itself.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just so light, it barely feels like you're eating anything. You could take this down
Look
in
at
a
that.
heartbeat.
Surfboard.
Yeah. And
flop.
just so everyone knows, just so we're being authentic and full disclosure, like we do not have a coal oven. We are not authentic New
Yeah, that's
Haven
all-
pizza. But,
all BS.
I think it's just, I think you hit it on the nose. It's how well you craft the dough, how well you're making everything, and how well you know how to cook it, right?
Yeah.
Like a bubble here is a thing of beauty.
Right.
If-
And the pizza speaks for itself. People say like the cold and the wrong oven, all that. But if your pizza's good, your
It's
pizza's
the
good.
pizza,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So this is something that I often recommend. Obviously, it's good for people who are dairy free and stuff like that. But I just think it's genuinely delicious.
I
Please,
have to go
you
cheese
gotta
first.
start with the cheese, of
It's
course.
my tradition when I go to a new place.
Yep, that's just a classic cheese pizza. Can't really go wrong with that. And the marinara, oregano, garlic, basil.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I
how
wanna
it
kill
gets-
this whole thing
yeah,
right now.
That's what I'm saying. You could. It's light as a feather, right? It's got that good crunch to it.
I mean, the tomato comes out immediately. It's like that good quality, probably Italian, California tomato.
Yeah.
The garlic. This is actually similar to a tomato pie, which kind of was what started pizza in New Haven. But
yeah, that's right.
man.
And I love that pie, actually. I love
yeah.
the fresh tomato pie, and I love the clam pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is incredible, by the way.
Thank you so much. I will say, since it's charred, excuse me, I need to stay close to my thing. Since it's charred, this is on the lighter side, and the reason that we do that is because it's a slicer, right? So
you put out the
right.
slices.
So because we're warming it back for a second one, so typically it would have more of an undercarriage. That's kind of
makes sense.
Yeah, so we like to that way you don't actually.
I always wondered that when you go to places and they have the slices. So when someone orders a slice, you throw it in for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean everybody has preference. To be honest, some people like a cold slice of pizza,
right? True.
And they're just out the door and they're in a rush. The pizzas come out throughout the day too, so if you happen to get here when it's just came out, you don't need to reheat it. But yeah, we typically just throw it in there for another 30, 45 seconds just to crisp it back up and tighten the cheese.
Now you're not going to take these back and reheat them and sell them, are you? These
are yours. Yeah. These are yours unless you don't finish it.
You started getting me nervous over here, Sarah. We're going downhill quick.
No. I'm sorry. I was just explaining why might not be as charred as you guys are used to being charred.
Yeah.
By the way, where's my T-shirt? I feel a little.
We got one for you in the car.
Oh yeah, Frank brought one. Frank, can you pass me a napkin real quick?
Yes, sir. So,
thank you.
What style? So obviously, we're big New Haven style, but I love New York style. What style would you consider this? Because it's kind of like New Haven, in my opinion, New Haven-ish.
Yes,
and the ish isn't bad.
Adjacent, yeah. So, and it's fun. I was hoping we would kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it because we struggled with that for a while, right? Like I said, we came from D.C. where he really was master of Neapolitan, DOC certified.
DOP.
Certified. Thank you.
I didn't know either one. I was like, that sounds right.
That's like the very traditional 4 ingredients, no BS. You can't mess around with that. That is his favorite style to cook. There is an amazing pizzeria right down the street here in Guilford. Shout out to Buffalina. That's doing that already.
Oh, okay.
Very authentic, really tiny, super delicious. And not everybody loves a Neapolitan pie either, right? So we were just trying to kind of figure out where our place was for a while. We know we don't have the authentic coal. We're working on a wood oven that's not working for us that well back there. So what he did was really quickly adjust, first of all, to a higher gluten flour, right?
Yep.
And then just work on sort of the bake time and find the right spot in the oven and everything like that. So I do think it's sort of a testament to how much he loves creating dough.
Yeah.
How that.
Yeah.
The proofing process is incredibly important to us. We do not rush anything at all. Everything is 36, 48 hours minimum. It's proofing again and again, especially that Sicilian. That one even has an extra proof to it. So
when you say proof, is that
You've been telling me about the Sicilian, but I don't see it.
I know. Hey, Dad, can you bring a slice of Sicilian over here, or 2 slices if you get a chance?
I gotta try one of these.
Or bring the whole tray if you want.
I'm gonna try one.
That's my dad.
Nice.
He's so cute.
The family business. I love it.
Sure is. Yeah. I mean, he was not a pizza guy. He is a retared dentist. But once we got this place, he was like, "Hey, can I come hang out?"
That's awesome.
And he's our biggest fan.
Hold on, I gotta get this crunch on the mic.
Yeah. Go. Oh, there we go. That probably
look at
was
this.
nice and big.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
So when I talk about proofing,
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
sure you've learned this from Frank.
Right.
Yeah. That's the rest period where all of that yeast is working its magic and creating the
dough.
aeration.
Got it.
And this is what makes the bubbles, what makes the space
Right.
in that, instead of just having a flat piece of crust. So you can see in that. You
Look
can
at
see,
that.
yeah. So it is more dough.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, but it is definitely the extra proofing that gives it that height. Because
Yeah.
I think you'll see once you bite into it, there's a lot of air. It's
Right.
much lighter than you would expect it to be.
Yeah, because I think people get intimidated at first by that style because
Yeah.
they say like, I can't eat all those, but then you eat it and you're like, oh, this is lighter
Oh,
than I
it goes
thought.
down like nothing. I mean, it doesn't go down this light.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is maybe the lightest pizza I've ever
really
tried.
Yeah,
it's just-
and it's so flavorful too,
It
right?
really is
Like
with
I know
the
you're
sauce.
a cheese guy, but I don't think it's.
No, I like this. This is really good.
Oh,
If-
please.
If you're really into sauce too, and I know a lot of people are, the taste of the sauce, you get it a little bit with the cheese pizza, but you really taste it with this one.
Yeah, not too sweet, not too, right? Everybody's got their own kind of thing. But yeah, he does make a beautiful, beautiful sauce. So yeah, the proofing is a big, big part of it. And that's good to say just about our dough is like we're using the same dough everywhere, right? His dough recipe, the way that it is, the way that he worked up that higher gluten to make sure it was nice and chewy.
Yep.
he played with that probably for a whole year until he really just found it's what he likes. It's his art, it's his craft. You can see behind us, we kind of wrote down a bunch of styles in the area because we were trying to figure out where we were going to be. What were we calling ourselves? How were we doing it?
Yeah.
And actually, the more I've listened to your guys' podcasts and some of those big guys, those heavy hitters, those icons and legendary pizzeria owners, the more I was surprised that people were saying it's our style, right? Like we do it the way we do it. Like this is from when I lived in New York and I came here. This is from a combination of things I learned that was passed down to me. And it was really great to hear that. It sort of settled me a little bit because I'm always like, do we have to have a label? Like what kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
You feel like you need to
Right.
be pigeonholed into a type, but you don't. You just need to be good, right?
And that's really one of my favorite things about pizza. We talked about this when we had Michael Pollack on with the art. Pizza is like an art form. Like just all your experiences, you working at other restaurants, you and your husband being in
all
DC.
Italian and pizzeria restaurants for the record.
Right. Okay, so there you go. So him, making those other pizzas for a time, like that all comes into creating. It's like creativity and artwork with the pizza.
Yeah. It really is. It's, you eat, breathe, and sleep it.
Yeah, it's an art. It's a passion. And like you said, a lot of people think that, these pizzerias, because they sell 500 pizzas a night, they make $1 million.
They do not.
It doesn't happen.
They do not. Do you know how much a pizza box costs these days?
I know.
Yeah, it's like...
We won't even get into it.
Yeah, we won't even get into it. That's a whole nother podcast. But
Right. Yeah, I know. We should do like a financial breakdown podcast.
Everyone would feel sorry for us. And
But people who order pizza, it's things you don't even think about. You order a pizza on a Friday night, you don't think about what goes into, like you said, the box, the everything, all the, everything that goes into making that one pie.
Right. And it's the
It's a
time
lot.
too, right? Like I said, it's 36, 48 hours. It's not like this actually got made just today, right? It's a long, arduous labor of love.
The thing that doesn't show up on the recipe or your husband's method is his heart and the passion that goes into something like this. And that's what people don't get. It's like everyone's looking for a recipe. Oh, I want to know how this is made. I want to know how that was made. And that's all great, to kind of get it somewhat in the ballpark. But like someone like your husband who just loves what he does, you can't buy that. You can't put that in a recipe. You can't make it. You can't learn it. You got to have it.
You're 100% correct. And I have said this before on a podcast that I did with iHeartRadio. I 100% fell in love with him watching him make pizza. And that is not even at all a joke or like a play on this podcast or pizza.
No, it's great.
Wow.
But watching him roll that dough, watching him grab the toppings and put them on the pizza at the line.
Pizza is love.
It was magical. It was passionate. It was, it just
Listen,
really
we're going
was.
on the edge. We're not used to around here.
Valentine's
Day is coming up. Pizza is love.
Pizza is love. But I mean it. It's exactly what you're saying is you can tell who loves what they do. And it's really been interesting here to watch him build the team in the kitchen because people are always coming in for a job and saying that they're pizziolas, right?
Yeah.
And that is the last person that he ever wants to hire. He starts from scratch with someone who has no idea what they're doing.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
He does not want anybody with experience.
Because he wants to teach them.
Because they think they know their thing. They have, you got to break all their bad habits. It's similar with any type of restaurant work, really. But you want to start them from scratch so that they learn it exactly the way you want them to learn it. Yeah.
And you could just tell, like, he hasn't really said much to us, which is good. When I say good, it's okay. But he's just focused.
Yeah,
he's
I like that.
passionate about it. And, and it's cool because he's back there doing what he loves and you're here. You were kind of like born for the radio.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the radio. Are you saying I don't have a face for TV?
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just kidding. I do think, we are a very good match in that I have absolutely no problem talking. And he just wants to cook.
It's a great team. Yeah.
It really is. And, both jobs are important because without
100%.
us talking about what we're doing here,
Yep.
not anybody would get to try all of this great pizza. So
True.
It's really great. It's been wonderful.
And with the open kitchen too, like people walk in and they immediately see the hard work that's happening back there.
Yeah.
And then you greet them, and it's like that perfect combination. That's what I mean when I said earlier, like when you walk in, because you smell it, you see it, you know, it's
there's
a whole
smiling face when you walk in the door. We're big on hospitality here. That's a huge part of what we do. And that pizzeria I was talking about that we met in 20 years ago was also an open kitchen concept, which is how I could see him making his pizza
Yeah,
all the time. I was at the hostess stand, kind of Google eyes at him. But it really
It's
is
nice after 20 years
beautiful.
you still obviously are in love with him, which is kind of pretty cool.
Yeah.
Seeing that it's
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, we're gonna be.
Yeah. Oh, are we gonna air on Valentine's Day? Or around? This is the
it'll-
Valentine's episode.
This will probably be the week after Valentine's
Okay, I
Day. But
was
so
gonna say-
Valentine's Day already happened, but yeah.
I could have made you a heart pizza.
I know. Yeah, we could have done that. Or people could come here on Valentine's
Do
Day.
you know what we did last year for
take a bite
Valentine's
of
Day?
this
Actually,
Sicilian.
just for everybody's trying to get followers, and this is this
Sure.
whole thing of pizzerias that I really never necessarily knew that I would have to do. When we were in the city, you hire a whole marketing team because you have big budgets and everyone's paying your bills. Here, it's our place, so we do it, right? But we try and placate towards it. We have some great foodies around here. There's one in Guilford actually called Foods with Finn. She does a really great job of highlighting local businesses in this town.
Nice.
So for her, we made a bouquet of garlic knots. That was our Valentine's thing
Oh, I
last
love
year.
that.
We made them up like little roses and put them in a whole bouquet with a thing. I'll show you guys a picture. It's pretty funny. But yeah, sometimes you gotta do the tricks of the ponies. So
Yeah,
get
yeah.
people on the door. Follow
little
your
creative.
Instagram page, Avest Pizzeria.
Oh,
on
here we
Instagram.
go.
We got it right
yes,
here,
I
yep.
do. I have in 15 places all around, and I struggle with social media. It's not really my thing. I like actual socialization.
Right.
But we're doing our best.
Yeah, that's awesome. And looking around, tell us some of the other things that you have going on here. Like I see the cookies over there.
Yes.
It seems like there's other stuff on your menu.
Yeah, cookies are a must-have. I mean, they're just legendary around here. I got a fresh tray of those coming out for you
Oh, wow.
in a minute.
Because I need one
Nice.
at least.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you have 2 kids, so we'll send you home with 2
Nice, thank you.
I have 3 kids.
Oh, okay. The cookies are just sort of like a nice little thing that we have going. To be honest, what I think is just killer besides the pizza itself, and it's because of the dough, is we do a $4 loaf of Italian bread. We bake them fresh all day, every single day.
Dad, could you bring us over a loaf of bread?
Toss a loaf of bread this way. And it's just killer. It's just the best deal in town, to be honest. Like, I know everybody is so thoughtful about what they're putting in their bodies nowadays,
Yeah.
and the ingredients do matter. So do you want a loaf of bread that has
Thank you, sir.
10,000 ingredients?
Look at that.
Or do you want a beautiful loaf of bread?
Look at this dog, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
hold
at
that
that.
up to the camera.
$4? I mean, how can you go wrong?
Where are you getting this?
And that's
Yeah.
and that's one thing that people don't even think about. You're right. Like they
Oof.
just buy the bread right at the grocery store,
Right.
or you can get it locally made here
Yeah.
fresh.
So
Yeah.
my vision,
Look at that.
please. You see the steam?
Oh, you got some oil yet?
Olive oil for you. There you
I
go.
love
Wasn't there a
that.
song by Men at Work? Take a Vegemite. There's a something with bread or something. I take
Juice
this.
your skin.
Yeah,
I
let's
can't
hear it,
say
Frank.
anything. I gotta eat this.
Look at it. I got the Sicilian. I got these
I
slices.
know, we're gonna carve you out, but
I'm
it
gonna
is
try-
Look at this.
killer.
But I gotta try this.
It
Look
is
at-
killer. So yeah, I always say grab a
Fresh,
loaf of bread.
too.
What I envision for this place is not just a pizzeria. I love being a slice shop. I love people coming in here for pizza, but I want you to be able to come out with a bag and kind of be set with your groceries for the week. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I want you to come in here. I want you to get a couple slices for lunch, but on your way out, a couple crispy chicken cutlets from the kids. A small
you have to go,
container-
right?
Yeah, all of that
Grab
stuff
and
is
goes.
grab and
Nice.
go. We've got fresh things in the case, like a beautiful chickpea salad or a pasta salad or whatever seasonal. Eggplant caponata is incredible here. So a loaf of bread, eggplant caponata. You're headed to someone's house for dinner. Boom! You don't have to think about what to bring. You know,
That's a great idea, too, yeah.
Just grab. There's quarts and pints of sauce. You grab it and throw it over your own pasta if you want. I really want people to kind of like think about all of the things that they can.
You're
get.
pretty good at sales.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, we have. I like to say we really have a clear. At least I have a very clear vision of what I see this place being.
Yeah.
And like I kind of mentioned to you guys before, is like I really want it to feel
Thank you, sir.
organic and slow moving. I don't
Yeah.
want to just shock people that have been really good, long-standing customers.
Yep.
Especially after the pandemic, everyone was really holding on to.
Yeah.
What is my normal, my regular.
Right.
They didn't want change, and
Right.
and we really wanted to be respectful of that. It's such a small, cute community, and we're so grateful to be, past that 2-year mark where everybody does a nosedive. We're going into year 4, so
You're going uphill.
yeah, we have such a clear vision of where we want to be by year 5, by year 8, by year 10. And as long as, everyone keeps coming through the door, we'll get there. We have a beautiful space upstairs as well that we rent out for parties.
Oh, wow.
I did a lot of catering in my days in DC,
Yep.
event planning and stuff like that. So we hope to take advantage of that in the future. And also because Neco is so well trained in the kitchen and not just with pizza, even though this is his, bread and butter, this is where he eats and breathes. His skill set in the kitchen is way beyond what most pizziolas do. In that restaurant that we met in, they were, fresh filleting
That you fell in love with.
anchovies that we fell in love with. Yeah.
Watching him make the pizza.
I know.
So he's got
How
like
could I not?
he's got a real like chef kitchen background.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
He is so impressive just as a cook.
Yeah.
And you can notice that just from the flavor profiles of the sauce, or just,
Definitely.
the simplest things sometimes are the hardest to make.
I mean, this
Yeah.
year's money.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
What about Junior? Is he into?
We've got two juniors. We got two. We've got a 5 and a 7-year-old, and there is nothing they love more than making a mess in that kitchen with them. They have been shortly banned from being
wow.
in here. They're boys. They're rowdy.
Yeah.
They want to climb all over everything and throw flour at each other and do
Well,
whatever.
most kids have a Fisher-Price kitchen at home. They have a real one that they can play in.
Yes, they come in here. I mean, we're here every single day, right?
Yeah.
That's the way we always imagined it. As soon as they possibly can, they will be washing dishes in the back. They already know how to fold boxes and do roll-ups.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
It's all, I love
they're
it.
going to work.
Yeah, I love that. And between your dad and the kids and your husband, it's just that's what, and it comes through in the the food.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. So, there's just a lot of growth potential, which is really exciting. But I think the key is the pizza and having nailed that down, which, like I said, it was a little, you come into a new state, you come into a new area that revolves around pizza, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about it all the time. There's no state.
in our blood.
It's just it's incredible. And I remember over the course of the years that we've been dating, we went. I took him to Pepe's, I took him to Sally's. We did all of those things.
Yep.
It really is hard.
How'd those dates go?
He doesn't like waiting online for pizza. I'll say that.
Right.
It wasn't great. But it's absolutely a legendary experience, right? And we had to have it. We still have a lot of research to be done because we have 2 little kids and we don't get to go out a lot for pizza. But it's just so cool to be able to be a part of it and really keep our heads high and know that we're putting out a great product.
Definitely.
And we look forward to having a lot of new guests. Like I'm sure there's so many people we don't even know that we took over this place. Haven't even been here.
Yeah, just getting the word out. That's the biggest part of it.
For sure.
Before we wrap up, is there anything you want to tell people about Pasta Avest before we?
By the way, you get the award for the most talkative.
Yeah,
definitely.
Should we roll into a second episode? Is there a part 2?
Usually Frank gets that award. But
She stole it right from
I'm
me.
sorry, you put me in the
No,
middle.
it's
There's
great.
a spotlight on me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
it's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I believe I'm the first woman on this show, so I really wanted to make sure
think so.
You actually are.
Yeah.
that I was showing up for the pizziolas and the ladies that are running.
There you go.
pizzerias
Awesome.
around.
I love it.
Please do not forget to get into that cookie.
Oh, yeah.
before-
Let's
at
do a
least-
cheers.
at
Let's do a
least
cheers with
break
those
into that
cookies.
sucker. Enjoy that, please.
To close out a little bit.
What
but
a
yeah,
breakfast of champions. I know.
Oh, it's warm.
Yeah, I
too?
was gonna say.
I'm on a diet, too.
Top secret. If you want us to throw that cookie into the pizza oven
Look at
for a
that.
good 10, 15
Oh, you can
seconds
do
when
that
you
for
come
people?
here, we'll warm it up. in
You
a
never
little
did that for me when I came here before.
I think I did.
No, I don't think so. No.
Maybe it was fresh out of the oven. No, I would just say we're open Monday through Saturday. We take
Yep.
Sundays off right now, 11 to 8, very consistently. Please follow us on Instagram so you can see all the fun stuff that we're doing and making. Avest Pizzeria.
Avest Pizzeria. We'll share it on Charred, too,
And then, just look out for fun stuff. Like I said, we're right on Route 1 off of
Fresh bread.
95. Fresh
Yep.
bread, $4. Try the eggplant caponata. Try the crispy chicken cutlets. There's a beautiful fresh salad bar, too, we can make
Oh,
for
nice.
you over at the end.
Love
Lots
it.
of healthy options also.
All right, awesome. Pasta Avest in Guilford. Thank you so
Yay.
much, Sarah, for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you so much.
Neco and
Thank
Dad,
you.
thank you
Yeah.
in the back there for making all these delicious pizzas for us and the cookies. And we'll talk to you next time. Remember, it's not burnt.
It's charred.
Oh!
Cheers, Frank.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A pizza, it's time to eat.